Hi friends, it's Linda. I am back with Defember. I promised that I would come back and show my second set of creations for days 8 through 14. I am following along the prompts for making a piece of ephemera every day in December. And this Defember is hosted by 49 Dragonflies, Barbara and Luise Heinzl. So I'm going to jump right in. As you might remember, if you watched my first video, I am making all of my Defember pieces in black and white. And that is because I am going to create with them an altered book journal using this book from the Dollar Tree. Now this is the cover of the book, which I probably won't use the actual cover, although how great is it? But look at the inside of this book. Is that like wonderful? And it has all of these black and white illustrations, as well as it's just great. I'm loving it. So anyway, I haven't had the heart to start tearing many of the pages out, just a few, but as soon as I finish Defember, and as soon as Christmas has passed, I will get started on the actual altering of this book and putting all of the ephemera in it that I've created, because I am really excited about it. And I'm sure I will be posting a flip through at the very end when I do get the journal completed. So let me just jump right in again and show you what I created days 8 through 14. Day 8 was very interesting. It was a snow woman and a paper doily. And I didn't have any snow women per se, but I made this tag and I used this adorable little face. It's actually, I think, a moon face from rubber stamps. It's a really adorable little rubber stamp. And I just cut some circles from paper doilies and created this little snow woman. Very simply put her on some scrapbook paper, and I created a pocket on the back, and I wanted to show you this because I was really going to use this little image. If I was creating this for myself, I probably would have put her face on it just because she makes me laugh and I love to use silly faces in my art. But since I'm making it for a journal, I thought I would probably use something that was just a little, maybe a little more mainstream. But I am tucking her back here into this pocket. She is just delightful. And then I just put a little lace tab on the top. So I made that. I played around with this. I didn't really finish it. I just used a little rubber stamp and stamped it right on the doily and added some glitter, and I drew a little purse because the rubber stamp didn't necessarily look like a snow woman, so I thought I'd create a purse. I put some little iridescent snowflakes coming down there, iridescent sequins, and I was going to attach it to this piece of cardstock and create maybe a journal card or a little pocket or something. Since the journal is not necessarily just a winter journal or a Christmas journal or anything like that, I wasn't 100% sure if I would use this, and I kind of like the other one better, so I kind of left this in an unfinished way, and I may or may not use it right now in this journal, but it was kind of fun. Such a creative prompt. Okay, so those are the first two, or the first for day 8. Day 9 was T/envelope. So I actually followed Barbara's little recipe for creating a T envelope, and I closed it with a magnet, and I used a little rubber stamp here and just some scrapbook paper. This could not be any more simply made or done and decorated. And I just put an actual tea bag inside of there. I usually have some sort of tea bag inside of all of my finished journals, so I thought that was a fun way to to incorporate that. So she turned out sweet. This is rubber stamped just on some tissue paper. So I kind of like the way it still showed through. The background paper still shows through, but at the same time, so does the image. Shows up as well. So the tissue paper is really something I love to stamp on, especially in black, to put over backgrounds and such, because you get a kind of a neat image with that. All right. And then number 10 was a staple and a tuck spot. So I did very much along the lines of what Barbara showed in her video, and I just tore some scrapbook papers and made a simple tuck spot, and then I just made a little decoration from a postage stamp and a bit of book page, a little label, and some scrapbook paper, and then I just used a couple of staples to create accents in the corner, if you can see that. So that's my tuck spot for day 10. Day 11 was a hand or machine sewing and a postcard. And I actually, for day 10, sorry about my reaching, but I know you love, I'm wearing my black and white shirt again, in keeping with my black and white theme. So I made 2 postcards. I made this one. I had this image and I never used it, and so I thought, well, I would use it for this. So I put it on a postcard, and I tore some background pieces from one of Luise's digitals, and I used one of my rubber stamps on a wing and a prayer, and used it in the corner as a little postage stamp, and used a little canceled postage rubber stamp, and then I sewed around it. And what's so funny, my sewing machine is acting up a little bit, and this was not at all the decorative stitch that it was meant to be. I think it was supposed to look a little more like this, with this leaf pattern, which actually came out on the back. I don't know if this was a tension problem or what it was, but it kind of turned out fun. So I'm not 100% unhappy with the way that turned out. It's really unique. It's not something I would have chosen, but it was a happy accident. So anyway, so that was my first. And then the same thing happened on this one. Look how crazy my sewing machine sewed this edges on this. This was supposed to be a zigzag. Truly some sort of a tension thing going on, but the zigzag kind of showed up on the back. So this was an actual postcard, and I just put a bit of paper here, used that sweet little raccoon of Luisa's in the corner for a stamp, put the canceled rubber stamp, and this is a rubber stamp that I have, this gate, and I put it over some toile, never say that word right, T-O-I-L-E, scrapbook paper, and I found a quote. I just looked online for a quote about gates, and I found this one, still around the corner there may wait a new road or a secret gate, by J.R.R. Tolkien, who is actually one of my husband absolutely is obsessed with him and has been all of his life. So that was a kind of a fun thing to find. And my husband had not heard that quote, or didn't remember from where it came. But anyway, so I do like the way this turned out, even with the crazy stitching. I thought in this particular project, the crazy stitching, that would have been quite a disappointment, and I would have been ripping out had it occurred in an actual sewing project. It was just great for junk journals, which is the beauty of junk journals. Even the biggest quote-unquote mistake can be fun, can end up with really fun results. Okay, so that is day 11. Day 12 is a bird slash pocket. So again, I went very traditional here. I had this black envelope in my stash. Sorry about the shadows. It's just a black envelope, and I stenciled with a white, I think it was a white pearlescence rubber stamp pad, maybe is what it was called, pearlescence. And I put a little bit of washi on the edge of the envelope there just to kind of stabilize it a little bit because I knew I'd be sewing around it. And then I sewed around the diameter with a straight stitch and around the flap of the pocket, added a little embellishment there and a little bird. And this little bird is has a corrugated body, a little wing, and he was a ready-made embellishment that I've had in my stash forever. Might have come from Michael's back when they had their $1 spot or something like that. And so then I just put him on a little bit of paper and gingham fabric and added this little embellishment, another little embellishment that I've had forever. So I am loving using stuff from my stash for this project. And it's probably going to be a pocket as well as an envelope in my journal. So that was fun. And then the next one was the magazine or newspaper belly band. And I went very simple. I was so mesmerized by what was going on with Louisa in her in her video when she made hers. She did pretty much the same thing. She was going along, kind of collaging her magazine pieces as I did, and then she embossed it with an embossing folder. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it, because when she started rubbing the gold over the top of that embossing folder, my jaw dropped. I could not believe how beautifully that turned out. I almost tried it with this, and I didn't. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be trying that on something in the future because that was so cool. You got to see that. So what I did was I just took one volume of one of my old art magazines, and I just tore out whatever I could find in black and white, and I just made a tiny little collage and made this belly band. I was going to sew around it, and then I didn't know. My sewing machine's a little unpredictable, so I just opted not to do that. I just left it. I didn't even embellish it. I just kind of left it as it is because I think it's enough, especially if I tuck something underneath it. So I was kind of good with it. All right. My style is usually fairly simple, so I'm kind of okay without the embellishments because some of them tend to get just too bulky. And with an altered book in particular, you really got to watch the bulk. Okay, and then the last one here, which was yesterday's, today's the 15th, this is the 14th, was tape in an index or Rolodex card. So I took that so literally and made the most simple thing. It is absolutely just an index card that I covered the lined side with the only black and white washies that I had in my stash. I put a little piece of this scrap. Now, we used to call this German scrap, and I really don't know what the technical name for it is. It's just a kind of a shiny edging that you can get in usually gold or silver in different colors. I don't know what everybody else calls it, but I have just a little bit of this black color that's scallop, and I just love it. So I put that along the top. I made just a little embellishment. It was going to be a button. I made a button like this on the day that we made buttons, but I didn't use them all, so I just put it inside of this little tag and added some simple string for a bow. So, oh, and on the back, I wanted to tell you this rubber stamp. Oh, I love it. And look how well, in the black and white, how well the stamped images go in, match with my black and white theme. So I'll link this. I bought this on Etsy in an Etsy shop, this rubber stamp set, and there's about 6 little Post-it stamps, rubber stamps in the set. So I will put that in the description box. And this is one of Barbara's words in one of her digitals. So that is my final 7th piece of ephemera for my December-rember. And so I will make another video. I've already made my sparkle / book page for today, but I'm not going to show that. I'll show 15 through, I don't know, 22 or so next week. I'll show my next pieces, and I appreciate all of the kind comments that people left on my last video. I was so excited because I am brand new to filming, not brand new to crafting. I'm an old crafter, but I am, I've been making journals just for a couple of years, and I've always done paper arts and junk journaling type things, but not official junk journals until about 2 years ago. So anyway, I have 2 Etsy shops, so you can find me there, Vintage Joys and Jewels, as well as JellyJarButtons. And I am on Instagram at Linda Perry Smith, and I'll put all of those things in the description box. I'm not very active on Instagram right now, but anyway. So lastly, I'm going to share another one of these my black and white Oreo cookie candy canes with you. If you didn't try one on my last video, try one today. They're flavored like Oreo cookies. And don't they look fun mixed into my little black and white theme here? So anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. And thank you, Louisa and Barbara, for your ongoing inspiration. I am just having so much fun with this. And it's the first thing I do every morning is turn on Barbara's video to see what she's going to make. And then around lunchtime here in St. Louis, Louisa's video comes up. So I always have I have breakfast with Barbara and lunch with Louisa every day in December. And that has been such a treat. So anyway, thank you. Have a great day. I'll see you in about a week. Okay, bye-bye.